Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks again for watching. Today, we're doing sunscreen again. If you're tired of watching sunscreen videos, might I suggest maybe not watching them? No, I'm kidding. I would love you to watch. I do try to vary it sometimes, as I can, but of course I love sunscreen and it's what I talk about, so I'm gonna have probably more sunscreen videos than anything else. But I do have some fun videos not related to sunscreen coming up, so if you're excited for that, please do subscribe. Definitely give this video a like. I will list my social up here. So obviously, like, I'm on YouTube. You found me. Congratulations. Bravo. Or brava. But I also have my Instagram, which I guess I should promote. Sounds weird. I actually have my personal one, which I'm not going to be listing, and then I have my business one, which is the one that I would say like is my main source of me being on Instagram. So I'm on there on stories quite often, and of course the feed. So if you want to follow along with my skincare company and just personal updates, I have them all there, and I would love for you to join me. So we got something going on here. My hair is looking a little dull right now, isn't it? Probably just getting a lot more sun. Maybe I should tone it. What do we think? What do we think? Anyway, that's not why you're here. So what we're talking about today is my Ulta Sunscreen haul. And I guess I could title it something different, but that's just where it came from, obviously. And I think these sunscreens, I couldn't find them on Sephora or like Target. Target's kind of my main place. I would say I go to Target, Walmart, Sephora, and Ulta. That's kind of where I go. They have the best selection of things, and then these I could only find on Ulta or on their own websites, and I thought it was going to be easier if I could just do it all on Ulta. I think I get free shipping, or I can just pick it up in the store. So that's what we're doing. These are kind of, I would say, fan favorites for a lot of people, and I had never tried them, so it was finally time for me to try some of them. So the ones I'm talking about, we have right here. There are two from the brand, I guess it's Cotz, because they have like a little accent on the O, so I'm going to say Cotz. And then two from Everyday Humans, which I've been hearing a lot about lately. Okay guys, so I'm going to put my hair up, maybe. It's like I do all this work to curl my hair. I mean, it's not that much work. And then I just put it up. Okay, let's just jump in. We're going to get going and put some sunscreen on my face. My husband is probably like, please stop singing. I sing all the time. I sing songs, like I just make up, instead of talking I sing, so it's like hello, good morning to you. That's a nice one. That's a good one. Some of the rest are not good. Okay, we're gonna start with the Cotz brand. I was expecting, really wanting to like these a lot, which I guess I'm giving something away there, but let's just show you. So this is the smaller of the two. This is called Face Moisture Lightly Tinted SPF 35. It retails for $26.50 and it comes in 1.5 fluid ounces. I would say that, whoa, I'm dropping them. All four that I'm reviewing actually are like $24 to $26-ish dollars. So pretty much all the same amount or the same price. And then obviously varying degrees of sizes, but I would call these mid-level. Like, they're not cheap, they're not expensive. So what I'm gonna do is pretty much what I've been doing lately, where I do one side of my face with this one and the other side with the other. And for that purpose, I'm gonna be doing one finger length, because you would do two for your full face. Okay, so that is the application. It is, I've never felt anything quite like this. At first I thought, because it is matte, you can tell it's matte, I thought it was going to be like the matte screen from Supergoop, which I have my feelings on. I will link that video above. But it's like greasy matte. I don't know. It kind of feels greasy. It definitely feels matte, you know, like you don't see any shine. You actually see more shine on this side of my face than the other. And it also feels heavy. So I feel like if it had like two of those things, I would be okay with it. But having all three, I don't love it. I would actually be okay with the like that weird like combination of matte and greasy, but the fact that it's kind of, it feels heavy, like you can feel, I don't want to say you can feel it on your face, but it just doesn't, it doesn't soak or dry down the way that I want it to. And I think that comes from it being matte, that you assume that you're just not going to feel it, and then you do. So that's something to keep in mind. They also have one that's called, I think, Protect and Prime, which is actually an SPF 40, and they say that that one's sheer matte. So I'm kind of confused, like what is the difference? I didn't get that one. These were the two, I think, the most highly rated. Also, the ones that kind of like stood out to me. I wanted something tinted. The other thing that I was thinking about with this one is it says it's lightly tinted. And I would say that's true. I don't feel like it gives me any color at all. It maybe blurs a little. It kind of acts like a primer, but it is lightly tinted. I think actually a little bit more tint would help people with darker skin tones though, because for me, I do feel like if you're looking at both sides of my face, this side maybe has like a little bit more of a like a white zinc oxide-y cast. What do you think? It's very silicone-y. I've seen that on reviews. I've heard people talking about that for a long time, that this one, it's just like, it feels just, I don't know, this very interesting feeling. And the reason that I actually first started realizing that was because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to layer. Like if I wanted to do another layer over that, because I would typically do a few layers of sunscreen, it would just be too much. And I think that's interesting because it does feel more like a primer, but then I would be hesitant to put makeup on over this. I think that it could interact poorly. I just haven't been wearing a lot of makeup, so I can't really tell you. I can't speak on that, but I would caution you against this one if you want to wear makeup. I don't know, maybe other people have different reactions to it, but I don't love it. So the last reason I don't love this and wouldn't recommend it highly over others is because, like I said, I think it's gonna feel heavy by the time you get enough on, and that kind of encourages people to wear less of it. And that is one of the biggest things for me. If people don't want to put more and more on for whatever reason, that's not a good sunscreen. And for this, it would be too heavy. I feel like people would be like, it would just feel wrong to put more on, so I don't love it. Next up, we have the Flawless Complexion Tinted. This is SPF 50, which I love to see. That is actually why I bought it. I should have bought the one with the 40 because 35, I'm like, not enough for me. And this one retails for $25 and is 2.5 ounces. So it's quite a bit more and even less expensive, which is interesting. Oh, I forgot to do the finger length. Just trust me that I'm putting enough on. Oopsies. I'll put extra on just to be safe. Wow. Let's look at the difference. Right off the bat, you can see that this side is glowy. This side is definitely more matte. That is one of the things about this one. It is going to give you a glow, which is not bad. It does feel more like a moisturizer than a lot of zinc oxide kind of mineral sunscreens. And I don't hate the glow. Like it's not, I'm trying to think, what's the one? The Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint, which is kind of like a makeup / sunscreen. That one does not dry down on me. That is if you have super dry skin. This I would say is probably better if you have dry to combo skin, maybe more normal, or you just like a glow. I think if you have oily skin, you're probably not gonna love this, just because it doesn't feel like it soaks in as much as some others, but I don't hate how it looks at all. And also, both of these say that they're, I think on the website, this one definitely says vanishing zinc oxide. This one, I don't think it says vanishing those words, but it definitely implies that it's going to be kind of more like sheer screen than anything else. And I would say that both of them do a really nice job of kind of canceling out that zinc oxide. And this one has, what is it, 16% zinc oxide? This one has 20% zinc oxide. So they do a really nice job, and I don't hate them at all. Me personally, I would wear this one over this. This one just, like, it feels greasy, which is so weird with a matte sunscreen. Like, that's not what you want if you want matte. This one just feels, honestly, more like a normal sunscreen. The only issue is that with mineral sunscreens, they don't tend to sink into your skin as much as a chemical one does. So if that's something that bothers you throughout the day, then you might want to consider a different one. The only thing I don't love about this is I think it's the third ingredient, or maybe the second. It doesn't show all the ingredients on here. But after the zinc oxide, which is the active ingredient, the next one is called bismuth. How do you pronounce that? Please let me know. Bismuth oxychloride, which is basically an alternative to talc. Talc kind of has gotten a bad rep these last few years, and it's actually not that bad. If you want an ingredient, I would go with talc over the bismuth. Why can't I say that? So it's interesting that they put that in there. I think they're just trying to be like the clean beauty alternative or something, but I don't love that. I know that it can irritate people, especially if they sweat. Like when you sweat and it mixes with that, it can give you irritations and like lead to like really itchy skin. So if you do have an irritation to that, this one's absolutely not for you. So interestingly enough, this is the first one, which was the like matte one, the face moisture, and it doesn't really have any tint on it, which is, you know, good to know, I guess. It really then I would say has less of a tint, whereas the Flawless Complexion definitely has kind of like color to it. It looks a little bit more like makeup coming off. Not to say that it felt or looked like makeup, but you know, if that's something you're interested in. So next up we have Everyday Humans. And as you can see, I have a mini size of the Resting Beach Face. I got this as a free gift from buying all the other stuff. And then the other one I got is the Rosé Vous, Plait. Okay, I got every last drop out of the Resting Beach Face. I've been using it and I really enjoyed it. So I was like, oh shoot, I gotta save some for the video. Now this one is a chemical sunscreen, and let me put it on and then I'll talk you through it. The full size is $24. This looks so tiny. And it is a 30 SPF. It kind of boasts that it has SPF plus your hyaluronic acid kind of plumping serum. I'm not sure about that part. I don't really see any results from the hyaluronic acid, but you know, it's definitely a selling point, kind of like a marketing ploy, I would say. So it also says that it has super greens, which I don't love because that's such a like health food gimmicky term. But what they're basically saying is that it has, I think, green tea, spinach extract, basically green extracts, which are great. I have no problem with it. But I just think when you say like superfoods, it's a little bit gimmicky. Just me. The active ingredients in it are, I'm going to read this from the bottle, 8% homosalate, 4% octosalate, 3% avobenzone, and 2% octocrylene. I would say that's a pretty standard mix for chemical filters, and I think a lot of places are trying to stay away from oxybenzone, so it does not have that in there if that's something you're worried about. You can see it has a very nice glow to it. It goes on absolutely flawlessly. It does leave you with this little bit of a sheen, but I would say for a lot of chemical sunscreens, they do that and then they dry down, and not into like a matte finish, but just more like of a natural finish. So that is definitely a plus for chemical sunscreen. One thing, very important, actually for both of them, this one, I don't think it says it's fragrance free, but it also says that the fragrance is Cosmos certified, which is like the green certification, I guess, seal. And while that may be true, I think it's actually kind of, I don't want to say it's an offensive scent, but it's not my favorite. And I think they could have done without it very easily and it would have been absolutely great. I don't have many complaints about this. I think it's a really good option, but my main complaints are the price. $24 is, I would say it's a pretty hefty amount for 1.7 fluid ounces, because you can find a lot of brands that have almost the exact same filters at much less of a price. So this one right here, which is one of my new favorites, Neutrogena, you can find this at anywhere, like Target, Walmart, all these places. And I have the serum, which I absolutely love. And this is another great option. This one is 3 ounces and it costs, right now, it's actually on sale, but I would say like the normal price is $17, which means that it's $5.66 per ounce, whereas this one is $14.11 per ounce. So you're getting quite a bit more from the Neutrogena one. Of course, it's a huge brand. This one is kind of more of an indie brand, so I understand it. But the filters are almost exactly the same, almost the exact same amounts. And I'm not saying that the formula is the same. I'm just giving you maybe a different option for something very similar. Oh no. My camera stopped. I hope I got that. I have a medium skin tone right now, but you can see the cast, and I got it in my hair, which is lovely. But it's not even the tone right now. It's the fact that I cannot blend it anymore. It feels like if I were to continue to blend it, it would rip my face off, which is not a pleasant feeling. And so I just, for that reason, I don't love it. It's not super user friendly, I would say. They do claim that this is invisible on all skin types, so I'm kind of like, I mean, when are we going to stop doing that? Like, it's not invisible unless it's maybe tinted, and then you're probably going to have the wrong tints for different skin tones. So I hate that kind of marketing. If I see that, I'm very, very hesitant. I forgot to mention, this one is 11.25% zinc oxide and 1.5% titanium dioxide. They do say that it's fragrance free, that the only fragrance is from the rose extract, but it's not. I don't know. When you say fragrance free, I then assume that there's no scent to it. This one has a fragrance, and it's just that they didn't use like a perfume or a fragrance oil or something, and it just comes from the rose extract, but it smells like rose. If you have any issues with fragrance, this would not be the one that I would suggest. There are actual mineral sunscreens with no fragrance at all. The good thing about it is the ingredient list is really, really great. Unfortunately, that does not mean that I like it, nor would I continue to use it, just because out of all the sunscreens that I have, this one, there's nothing so spectacular about it that I want to go use it and continue to buy it and use it. Maybe if it costs like $4, then I could say that, but at $25, there's no reason for me to buy it or use it. So guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that was helpful, and let me know what other types of videos you want to see, if there are any sunscreens that you would like me to review. I have a lot. Like, I really need to stop buying sunscreens, but I love it so much. And here's the thing, I'm going to use them all because I use sunscreen all the time. And yeah, so if there is another video that you have an idea for, please let me know below. I am always looking for new ideas. And with that said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.